Do you want to live longer, feel stronger, and keep your body and mind sharp well into your later years? People spend thousands of dollars each year trying to find the answer in bottles of supplements. The truth is, there's no single pill that will turn you into a younger version of yourself. But some supplements really do have solid science behind them, and they can help support your health as you age. The challenge is sorting out which ones are worth your money and which ones are just clever marketing. Today we're going to do that together. Let's start with vitamin D. If you think of your body as a house, vitamin D is like the sunlight that keeps it bright and steady. Your skin makes vitamin D when it's exposed to sunlight, but as you age, that process slows down. On top of that, many of us spend more time indoors, wear sunscreen, or live in places where winter stretches on for months. That means vitamin D deficiency is very common in people over 40. When levels get too low, bones become weaker, muscles lose strength, and the immune system doesn't respond as well. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Research shows that vitamin D can slow down biological aging by protecting telomeres, the little caps at the ends of your chromosomes. Think of telomeres like the plastic tips on shoelaces that keep them from fraying. As they wear down, cells stop dividing properly, and that's part of why we age. In one large trial, people who took vitamin D for several years had slower telomere shortening. The effect was like turning back the biological clock by about 3 years. Another important point is that people with very low vitamin D have a higher risk of dying earlier. The good news is, you don't need extreme doses. Around 2,000 IU a day is often enough to keep levels healthy for most adults. Just make sure that you're taking high-quality supplements. I've linked my go-to website for trusted supplements in the description below, so check that out to make sure that you're taking the best supplements possible at an affordable price. Next, let's talk about omega-3 fatty acids. You've probably heard of these as fish oil. They're found in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, and also in algae-based supplements. Omega-3s are special fats that your body can't make on its own, so you need to get them from food or supplements. They reduce inflammation, protect your heart, and support brain function. In fact, they may even help you live longer. A huge study that followed more than 40,000 people found that those with the highest levels of omega-3 in their blood had about an 18% lower risk of dying early compared to those with the lowest levels. That's a big difference. And it's not just about heart health. A recent clinical trial of older adults showed that taking 1 gram of omega-3 per day for 3 years slowed their biological aging, measured by DNA changes that act like a clock inside the body. Even better, the effect was strongest when omega-3 was combined with vitamin D and regular exercise. That's proof that supplements work best when paired with lifestyle, not as standalone fixes. Now let's look at magnesium, which doesn't get nearly enough credit. Magnesium is a mineral that helps with more than 300 processes in your body. It supports energy production, muscle function, nerve signaling, and even blood sugar control. If your body were a car, magnesium would be the oil that keeps the engine running smoothly. Yet many people don't get enough, especially as they get older. Research shows that people with higher magnesium intake have longer telomeres and slower signs of biological aging. Even more striking, a recent study found that older adults with higher magnesium intake were about half as likely to develop frailty compared to those who had very little. Frailty means the body loses resilience. People become weaker, slower, and more vulnerable to illness and injury. Once frailty sets in, it's hard to reverse. Magnesium could be a simple way to help delay or prevent it. Another nutrient that deserves attention is vitamin B12. This one is especially important after age 50 because the stomach produces less acid, which makes it harder to absorb B12 from food. Without enough B12, people can develop anemia, nerve damage, memory problems, and fatigue. It also raises homocysteine, a compound that damages blood vessels and increases the risk of heart disease. Supplementing when levels are low can correct these problems, and studies support this clearly. But B12 isn't a case of the more the better. In fact, some studies of older adults have found that very high blood levels of B12 are linked to higher mortality, just like very low levels are. That means balance is key. Getting your levels tested is the smartest way to know whether you need a supplement. Now let's take a quick detour into the beauty aisle. Collagen supplements are everywhere, sold as powders, drinks, or gummies that promise youthful skin and flexible joints. The science behind collagen is more modest. Studies show that collagen peptides can improve skin hydration and elasticity and may slightly reduce wrinkles after a few months of daily use. Some research also shows benefits for joint comfort, which can make exercise easier, but there's no strong evidence that collagen affects deeper aspects of aging, like preventing heart disease or extending lifespan. If you want your skin to look fresher or your knees to feel better, collagen may help. But if you're looking for extra years of life, collagen isn't the answer. There are also plant compounds like Resveratrol, which comes from grapes and red wine, and Quercetin, found in onions and apples. In lab studies, these compounds act as antioxidants and sometimes extend lifespan in worms or mice, but human studies are limited. A few suggest small benefits for blood flow or insulin sensitivity, but the body doesn't absorb these compounds very well, and the doses in supplements are often much higher than what's found in food. Right now, eating fruits and vegetables is a safer and more reliable way to get these compounds than relying on pills. So how do you put all this information into action? First, get your nutrient levels checked. Supplements work best when they fix a deficiency. If your vitamin D, magnesium, or B12 levels are low, correcting them can make a real difference. If your levels are already fine, extra pills may not help. Second, pay attention to the right dose. With vitamin D, around 2,000 IU daily is a common dose supported by trials. For omega-3, 1 gram of combined EPA and DHA per day is often effective. For magnesium, the recommended daily amount is usually enough unless your doctor advises more. With B12, doses vary depending on your levels and whether you absorb it well. Too much of any nutrient can cause problems, so more is not always better. Third, be patient. Supplements don't work overnight. You won't wake up looking 10 years younger after a week. The benefits build over months and years. If you want to live longer and better, don't just look for the next big bottle on the shelf. Start with the essentials. Know your nutrient levels, fix deficiencies, and make choices that strengthen your health every day. That's the real path to longevity. What supplements do you currently take or are you thinking of taking? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there.